parents. Happy Teenager Tuesday. Will Perry here. If we haven't met, I'm the lead student pastor at Hope Fellowship, which founder of this podcast.
Ooh.
I know. And with me today is the one, the only, the legend, Hunter Cooper.
Well, thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
Who are you, Hunter?
I am the student coordinator over at our Prosper campus. So if I haven't met you, I'm super excited to be meeting you through my voice today on this podcast.
That's right. If you don't know, Hunter, you've been at every campus, though.
I've attended every campus, and I have worked out 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've gotten to know Hope fairly well.
That's a pretty good bingo card there, man. That's pretty good. Well, today we're talking through the culture. If Elijah was on here, he would sing about culture update. I don't sing well. Do you, Hunter?
No, not at all.
All right, give us a go. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But every culture update we do slang of the week, where Elijah would say slang of the week. Here we go.
He did go for it.
He did, well, a little bit, yeah. This week's slang word is the chat. The chat. The chat. Do you know what this? Do you know Ricardo in here? Ricardo doesn't know. He has a 13-year-old daughter. Has she said the chat? Nope. He says no. He doesn't know. I'm letting you know what this means so that when it pops up, Ricardo, you're not blindsided. The chat basically means a friend group, like an assembled group of people.
Right.
Like the chat. Like it originally started on Twitch.
On Twitch.
Yeah.
So people who would log on Twitch would watch the people's streams, and everyone in the chat, instead of picking people out by name or by person, they would just refer to them as one conglomerate.
Yeah.
It'd be chat.
What up, chat? How we doing today? Yeah. Chat.
Chat.
I wonder if somebody's going to name their kid Chat.
Oh.
Capital C. Chat. It's a proper noun because it's capitalized. No, that's it. The chat. So, if it could be their classroom is the chat.
Yeah.
Their friend group, their lunch table, their whatever. That's the chat.
Even you right now could be chat.
Yes. Yeah, your family group. You're like, this is the chat. Dang. Or where the chat at? I hope the parents use this slang just so that teenagers roll their eyes.
Oh, that's the best part of it.
I hope. Oh my gosh, yeah. I hope that it happens. Well, let's get into what else is going on here, chat. Let's dive into it. Hunter, what's going on around the world? In the gaming world.
In the gaming world, big game just came out. This is Star Wars Outlaws, which debuted last week. This is the first game in the franchise that features a completely open world to explore. And what that kind of means is that in this game, there's a large map. Players are free to roam and to kind of explore however they choose. There is a guided storyline to this as well, which features our main character, Kay Vess.
Which is the only character.
Which is the only main playable character, correct?
Yeah, that you can play.
Yeah, so she's female, which actually there's some controversy in the gaming community over this. Some people think that this was forced by Disney executives to kind of make the franchise more gender inclusive.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Wow, yeah.
She's over Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
If you didn't know, Kathleen Kennedy.
Know that.
She's over Star Wars and Indiana Jones. So Lucasfilm, she oversees it. And I used to be a massive Star Wars fan.
Oh?
But for better or for worse, if you like the new stuff, you're not going to like my take.
Oh.
I'm not the biggest fan of most Star Wars stuff lately.
What took you out of it?
Dude, I just don't feel like it's good stories anymore, man. It seems like they're, well, okay, we don't have long, so I won't do it. But they've destroyed what the Force is. It's not consistent.
I can see that.
Like in the last, in the movie, not Last Jedi, shoot, what was the second one? Or the one right after that, the third one in that. Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
Yeah, you just use the Force to heal? No Jedi would do that? You couldn't heal Qui-Gon Jinn before? Okay, I'm not gonna rant. People aren't really liking this game. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
So again, there's some controversy over it. Some people think that it's a thing just to push,
like pushing the message,
right?
More
But some people think that she's a strong, resourceful, engaging lead. But overall, gaming perspective, the game focuses on completing heist missions, beating up bad guys, and unlocking skills. Yeah. Overall, some things to watch out for in the game, if that is some mild profanity, gambling, battle scenes with melee combat.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Typical video game stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a good reminder always, like parents, whatever video games your students are playing, A, know how long they play it, but really B, just know what's in it.
Agreed. Yeah. Growing up as a gamer, I could just have an open dialogue. Yeah. Just be curious above all else, and just learn.
Yeah, that's good. Well, another thing going on, the U.S., I don't know if you saw this, Hunter, the U.S. Surgeon General, who you follow all the time, just announced, they put out this new public health advisory directed at parents, for parents of parents, saying that the typical parent carries a level of stress that puts the entire family at risk.
Whoa.
A lot of stress in parents' lives. Parents, I don't know if you know this, you might be a little stressed out.
Just a tad.
Just a tad with stuff going on. In here, they said that nearly 70% of parents say that parenting now is harder than it was 20 years ago, which is interesting to me, though, because, like, how do they know? How do that parent know? Like, are they projecting backwards and saying, like, well, we have it harder than they do, which is also what young adults do with with their parents, right? Well, my life in the world is harder than it was for them. I don't know, but the interesting part of it is, the reason I want to bring it up is you do carry stress. You carry stress for work, family, your role in the family, how you work as a family. Like, people get stressed out, and I did just want to bring up, like, your stress isn't hidden from your family as much as well as you hide it. It'll explode out of you sometimes, or it'll slowly drain you at times. And one of the dumbest things a doctor has ever said to my mom, who has health problems, is try avoiding stress. And I hate that he said that to her, because you can't avoid stress, especially if you live with people that stress you out. Like, you can't just avoid it. You have to learn how to manage it. So real quick, for parents, this is my just a few tips on processing stress. What do you do in managing stress? 1, exercise. Getting your heart rate up, scientifically proven, get your heart rate up, releases stress in your body. Number 2, vulnerability with trusted people, that releases stress. Even if nothing changes, it's proved that it's helpful. So tell people things that you're stressed about. And then number 3, which brings us into what you're going to talk about, Hunter,
right,
is an added voice in your life. Added voice. A mentor, a parent, grandparent, like it helps alleviate that stress.
Yeah, that segues us right into Grandparents' Day. September 8th, some families just celebrated this by making a phone call, reminiscing, or maybe sharing a lunch.
Yeah.
You may think that, this is just another holiday they're trying to put on the calendar. It can feel like that at times. But actually, fun fact is that this got started back in 1978 by an activist of the name of Marion McQuaid, who herself was a grandmother of 43 children.
Well, of course, she wants to start it. She has 43 grandkids.
Yeah, if you do the math, that's just even thinking 4 kids. If you had 4 kids, they had 6 kids, that's only 24. So, I mean...
How many kids did she have?
I'm not sure.
But she had 43 grandchildren.
Right. So...
Wow.
But just kind of looking at that...
Dang, multiply.
I know. Just with the economic, cultural, and sociological factors... are contributing to a rise in multi-general households, and people are just living longer.
Yeah.
So, which means that the roles that grandparents play in families is being revisited. In fact, in Christian families, grandparents can be spiritual leaders, offering the kind of seasoned wisdom that only experience can provide. They can act as prayer warriors on grandchildren's behalf. And just to tie a little personal into it, my grandparents made a huge impact on my life. Just kind of teaching me some really important concepts and values to have growing up. So that is Grandparents' Day.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, I love that too, because there's a psalm that Moses wrote in, it's the only Psalms 90. He just wrote one, Psalms 90. And in the prayer, it kind of talks, he prays a few things. But in one specific part, he's praying that, like, the older generation of leaders that are leading the Israelite nation would help the younger people behind them to be better than them. And as a point of reference, he uses this sentence that we know and use all the time, which is, Lord, teach us to count our days. But the whole point of that is saying, us old people help us use our voice to make the next generation better, which is oftentimes, I mean, grandparents being around kids can be that added voice. You know, I'll have parents that say, like, my kid can't make it on a Wednesday, aren't plugging into a small group. I think our small groups are amazing and our small group leaders are amazing. It's not the only place for an added voice in your child's life, though.
Right.
So, like, if they can't make it to church, could be a grandparent then. You just have to, like, I would say, like, for that added voice, make sure they can be consistent. Not someone that lives up in Wisconsin or Canada or even further north, whatever is up there.
Whatever.
Arctic Circle?
Maybe.
I don't know. But if somebody who can be consistent in their life, obviously someone who is Christ-centered, and I would encourage for that person to be cross-generational, not in the same generation, which, you know, if you have a 16-year-old boy, sure, a 24-year-old can be a cool, you know, an older brother, but there's something special in the way that God created us to, like, cross-generational health and speaking into each other's lives.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's good. Anything else in the culture there?
I think that's about it.
All right. Nothing else going on in the world,
At
parents. No, hey, there's always a lot going on. And we always want you to remember that you can do this. You're not alone. God is with you. And so are we. Have a great week.